What's going on, guys? Magdallan here, and I admit I'm starting to get a little bit tired of hearing how hard GGG talks about stuff when no solutions are forthcoming. I want to read out this first paragraph here. In a previous post, we mentioned we were discussing issues related to Magic Find culling feeling mandatory, as well as cases where it feels bad to get a lot of quality currency or flasks from killing a monster with specific arch nemesis modifiers. In both of these cases, our discussions are ongoing. However, in order to provide a bit more certainty, we can say that we don't have any solutions for these issues mid-league, and we'll be looking at what's possible for 3.2. And to me, this reads like more marketing speak, more I'm not touching you, more deceptive language. To me, this paragraph reads, we talked about it a lot, and spending resources to fix these issues right now is not going to sell us any MTX because most of the players are already gone. And so we're looking into ways that we can make a change to this in the lead up to our next expansion and use it as additional incentive for players to make purchases before the league launches. And not to mention that by the point that 3.2 comes out, the people who played the whole league, they will have languished for a month and a half or 2 months with no changes to this, having to fire up the TFT every time you find a good mob. And they'll be pretty thirsty for any change in a direction that'll make adjustments to the necessity of that practice. And so I think that really going forward, the only thing you can do is just try and encourage people to not buy MTX at all. And if they're going to buy something, try and encourage people to wait until a few days into the league at least, if not a week or more. And certainly don't be buying the supporter packs before the league comes out. I think that's where they're making a lot of their cash, and that's probably the only thing that if there was a shift in when those purchases were happening to, further into the league, the game would have to rise or fall. Its sales would have to reflect the quality of the product and not the quality of the marketing campaign that leads up to the product's release. I don't know if that's a thing that can be accomplished. They've had a lot of time to train people into these types of economic behaviors. And so I don't know if, certainly not someone like me saying something on YouTube, that's not going to make any difference. But maybe if some of the bigger content creators started encouraging people to wait on purchasing until later, maybe that could have some effect. I don't know. I'm not sure what the solution is to try and push back a little bit and change the cycle that is, to me, pretty apparent in the way that GGG is going to approach the business end of the game. And so we'll just kind of have to work around that. And then briefly here, I will at least mention they made a couple changes to the lake, but I'll leave it to content creators that are actually engaging with that mechanic to discuss that. I don't do it at all. So it does look like they're making some really good changes to Arch Nemesis, though, in the sense that now that most of the players are gone, they will likely, with this set of changes, get the mechanic to where it's fine. And that was kind of the way I felt about it last week. They did a few patches, and then it was all right. It was okay. But this doesn't address the concept is not super fun, and the way that you interact with the modifiers is uninspired from my perspective. It doesn't entice me to play, and this does not address the issue that other content creators have very eloquently pointed out, that you're not fighting the mobs. There's no identity to the actual mob you're fighting. You're just fighting against the arch nemesis modifiers. This doesn't change any of that. It doesn't address any of the core issues. It's just another baby step numerical fix that will, for people who are still actively grinding every day and trying to put characters together and whatever, this will definitely make that a little bit more smooth. I will be back shortly with a video. I think I want to use some of the footage that I got from playing a little bit of Torchlight Infinite and talk about that game a little bit. I think that might be a pretty fun little game. So I've got an idea for a video on that. And then I'm taking it really slow, but I am leveling a Stormbrand Inquisitor, and I do plan on doing some kind of a guide video for that, but I'm in no rush. It may be a couple weeks at this point. I just play maybe hour a day, do an act or something. The crazy thing is I'm actually having more fun leveling the character than I was grinding at endgame. And if you've watched my content for even just a few videos, you know that I absolutely despise leveling. If I could just pay money and just skip the campaign, I'd be tempted to do it. Ethically, I don't think that should be in the game, but boy, if it was, I'd be tempted. And so if I'm here telling you that I'm enjoying the leveling process more than the end game, that should be an alarm bell, I think. But otherwise, yeah, I hope you guys are able to find some kind of fun in the game if you're still playing it. Last Epoch also looks really cool. And Lost Ark, I've had a pretty good amount of fun playing that too. So if you're needing something to fill the void, give those 2 games a look. And yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you.